What up, Leaguers? Welcome to the Spectacular Spoiler League. I'm the Pandan Superman, the mayor of Hype City, HazyRome, and as always, I'm joined by the Gotham Knight, the Prime Minister of Post-Production, DeepBoyce. And today, we're in the Hall of Spoilers for another round of Once Gotta Go.
Bong, bong. There's blood in the water. Spider-Man Homecoming dropped, and it was phenomenal. So says the Spectacular Spoiler League. No, any other opinion is null and void.
We have thus deemed it as one of the best Spidey movies of all time. One of the best.
Yes, sir.
But with that being said, we were introduced to a new Spider-Man, a new man to play the Spider-Man character. That is Tom Holland. So this episode of One's Gotta Go, Tom Holland's he's in play, man, because we're deciding which of the three men to play Spider-Man on the big screen. Of these three men, Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, which one has got to go, DeepBoyce? State your case, my friend. Who it is? Who's going, man? All three of them did a decent job in their movies. I don't think any one of them was critically maligned.
You don't think so?
Right? Critically maligned, like, to the point where people are like, this is unbearable, unacceptable, no way, no how. I don't think anyone really was like, yo, this is no way a good interpretation of Peter Parker. Now, each of them had their own criticisms. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Tobey Maguire, a lot of people felt like his Spider-Man quipping wasn't the best.
Okay.
Andrew Garfield, the complaint about him was that Peter Parker wasn't just, you know, nerdy, awkward Peter Parker. He was hipster skateboarder Peter Parker. Valid.
I see.
Valid.
I see. You
know, it was a modern take on Peter Parker. Some people didn't like that. And for Tom Holland, you know, people didn't like that, you know, he I don't know what people didn't like about Tom Holland.
People were just hating on Tom Holland. I'm going to just put it out there. People are wrong about Tom Holland.
Are they hating on Tom Holland? I don't think people are hating on Tom Holland. What are they saying?
This Spider-Man is too young. And,
no, I haven't heard that.
Marvel is always joking around and the blah, but the blah, blah, the blood and the pudding and the blah. Shut it. All right, because Tom Holland, he's been in 2 movies thus far, starring in 1. He's done a good job. So that means that the other 2 are on the spit roast right now. They're above the fire. So we got Tobey Maguire and we got Andrew Garfield.
Yes, sir.
And before I pick, just a little bullet points here and there for some of these guys.
Okay.
You know, why they're in the hot seat. I mean, Tobey Maguire, first Spider-Man.
Yes.
In the big
That's a tough thing to do, man.
That's a tough thing to do. Great in Spider-Man 1. Fantastic in Spider-Man 2. One of my favorite superhero movies of all time.
Yeah.
And then him and Sam Raimi and the rest of the team, they dropped a bit of a stinker in Spider-Man 3.
Did that have anything to do with Tobey Maguire in terms of his portrayal as Spider-Man though? That's the question I had.
Not too much.
Because he was fine. Other than you know, I'm affected by the Venom symbiote Spotty.
See
that was
that's when I was about to run out the movie theater, like not even through the door, but through the wall, like Wile E. Coyote or something. Just like I could not believe what they did to that franchise, but it wasn't entirely his fault. I mean, you know, he did the best that he could, and there was another.
You didn't like the Tobey Maguire pelvic thrust, man?
Nope.
You didn't like that, man?
Not in the least bit. I also didn't like, this had nothing to do with Tobey Maguire, but I also didn't like the scene where Harry Osborn and Mary Jane were dancing at their apartment. They were cooking and they put on music. This was like 2006 or something. The year 2006.
Yeah, it was around then.
And they were putting on some like music from the 1940s or something like that. I was like, what is this? What people in their 20-somethings are dancing to this music?
I don't know anybody in the 20-somethings that's about to do the twist in their apartment with their homies and their homegirls. I don't know nobody who's about to break out the twist when they chilling with the peeps, man, with the homies.
I mean, maybe
you know what I'm saying. That was in 2007, by the way, just to be
2007.
Just to be accurate.
I mean, maybe we were going.
That's
to the
even
wrong
worse.
Parties. Maybe we were going to the wrong parties, Hazy.
Maybe we are going to the wrong parties. Maybe we need to run through the Speed Force to 1940 and go to some parties where people are doing the twist, man. Maybe someone could show us the proper way to do the mashed potato, man. I don't know. I don't know, man.
But Tobey Maguire is safe.
Oh, he's safe.
He's not the one that's gotta go.
Uh-oh.
It's your boy Andrew sitting around eating lasagna, Garfield. He's got to go. Now, let me be clear. He wasn't terrible. But when I think about does this actor does he make the movie, or does he make the role, or does the role make him? I think Tobey Maguire added to Spider-Man. I think Tom Holland adds to Spider-Man in Spider-Man Homecoming. But I think Andrew Garfield, unfortunately, is more propped up by the fact that he played Spider-Man as opposed to what he added to Spider-Man.
So you don't think he added anything to Spider-Man?
I felt he was very nondescript as a Peter Parker.
Why do you say that, though?
Because
I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just curious behind your reasoning.
Because I don't know. Again, I wasn't hating on him, and I know some people felt that he was good in terms of the ad libs, quote unquote. He was good, flipping around and being Peter Parker in the middle of a fight. But even then, he didn't quite do it for me. I don't know what it was, and I guess maybe because most of the movie is not him in that mode as Spider-Man. The majority of the movie, he's out of costume. Because I guess that's just kind of the deal that Sony struck, and part of his contract. I mean, it's Andrew Garfield, and you kind of the Jennifer Lawrence type of contract where you want to see them more, or they want themselves to be seen more than them being in the suit. Tom Holland, I mean, I could be wrong, and I don't know, I don't have the exact data on this, but he was in the suit a lot. He was dressed up as Spider-Man a lot in Spider-Man Homecoming. And obviously, Tobey Maguire had 3 movies, and he was in Spider-Man suit a lot, and he had a lot of memorable scenes, not only in the suit, but outside of the suit. I mean, I'll never forget in Spider-Man 2 at the beginning, when he is rushing to go to class. He's already like an hour late, and he drops his books, and somebody walks by, bam, smacks him in the head with their book bag. And then he looks over, he's like, yo, what's up? And then somebody else, bam, smacks him in the head with the book bag as well. Iconic scene. Or when he's running to his job and the guy at the pizza parlor is like, Parker, you're always late. You're always late, Parker. Iconic scenes. Classic scenes as Peter Parker.
Damn, I didn't know you started in Spider-Man 2, man. I didn't. You sounded just like that guy, man. Wow. DeepBoy's holding out the money from the Spectacular Spoiler right now.
Listen, man, I had to
How much you get paid for that role, man?
3.5 boxes of pizza. It was
angry pizza guy over here, man.
But I can't, off the top of my head, think of one single Andrew Garfield Peter Parker moment that just stands out to me. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 1 wasn't that bad. I know maybe some people were kind of down on it, but I think it did the job. Sometimes it has to do the job to establish the franchise. Obviously, Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a stinker, and I wasn't really... it was odd. I was feeling the chemistry between him and Gwen Stacy, and I like that they chose Gwen Stacy in that franchise. But then in the second one, it didn't click at all.
Yeah.
It didn't click at all.
I gotta be honest, DeepBoyce. I am 100% with you on this, man. Andrew Garfield, you gotta go, man. I'm sorry. And you know what? The reason is and this is very much part of what you were saying, is that I felt like Tobey Maguire embodied Peter Parker in his essence very well. Now, he may not have been the greatest in-costume Spider-Man with the quips and the lines and stuff like that, but I feel like while that's important to the Spider-Man character, I feel like Peter Parker, his identity and the problems, the real-world problems he has, the everyman problems he has, the struggles he has, being a nerd and being awkward and even bullying to a certain extent, Tobey Maguire sold that really well in the movies. Peter Parker... Andrew Garfield didn't really sell that as much to me. He was more like a loner. And, you have the scenes where Flash Thompson was bullying him and whatnot. After he gets his powers and Uncle Ben dies, Flash Thompson, kind of approaches him. I guess to apologize to him about the loss of his uncle, and Peter takes him and slams him against the wall, and I'm just like, it's just, I understand he has his powers at that point, but I was just kind of like, that doesn't really scream Peter to me. He slams against the lockers. It didn't scream like Peter Parker to me. Yeah. Now Peter Parker does get angry for sure. You know what I mean? We saw that with Tobey Maguire's character and him dealing with feeling responsible for one of the robber's death who played a role in Uncle Ben's untimely death. Yeah. But I just felt like Andrew Garfield was way too much of a cool Peter Parker. Now, the Spider-Man quips, that being said, you might say he was a little bit better in the suit, but I gotta be honest, the Spider-Man in Amazing Spider-Man, the Spider-Man quips in that one were hit or miss. Yeah. Like, I remember that the part where he's fighting the lizard in his school, and he's like, he hears the sirens, and he's like, oh, somebody's been a bad wizard. And I'm just like, So, listen, some people may have find that funny, but I just didn't find it funny. And I'm pretty sure he was like, I don't know if he said lizard or wizard, but it sounded like he was kind of making like the baby talk. Yeah. And that's why I said wizard. But it didn't really sell well with me. That being said, when it comes to, I don't know if Andrew Garfield was actually in the suit doing the action stunts, but in Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Spider-Man motions, he had that on point. Like his body type in terms of like how he looked in the suit and the acrobatics and the swinging per se, they all look great for him. So I will say that. But we talking about balancing, Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and there's an imbalance with Andrew Garfield, man. There's an imbalance, and even when he is Peter Parker, he's not even awkward. Like him and Gwen Stacy are awkward, but the romance was almost too easy. If that makes sense. I know they had issues, and I know it was rocky, but it was like he had the girl. It was a matter of whether or not he could keep her.
Yeah, and he didn't. I mean, he let her die, and that's another reason why he's gotta go.
Oh, come on. Gwen Stacy dies in the comics, man.
He let her die again. At least Tom Holland didn't let Uncle Ben die again.
Oh, man. Tom Uncle Ben.
How many people did Tom Holland let die in this movie?
Oh, come on. That's not even fair. That's not even fair, bro. Because Uncle Ben is most likely gone. You know what I'm saying? In Civil War, he kind of started to talk about that, but ended up not going through with it. We haven't seen Uncle Ben or heard that much about Uncle Ben in Spider-Man Homecoming or Captain America Civil War. But if we're going to pick a man who's got to stay, we're going to pick the creme de la creme of Spider-Man. I'm going with Tom Holland, bro. He had the perfect mix of quintessential Peter Parker Spider-Man. Mm-hmm.
He was perfect awkward. Mix, he was stammering. He was super enthusiastic about everything.
Yes.
It was absolutely fantastic.
One thing about Peter Parker is that in the comics is that he actually really does like being Spider-Man. Yeah. And I think with Tom Holland, that came alive when he was in a suit. He seemed like he was enjoying being Spider-Man to the point where Spider-Man almost took over his life in a sense. He was more devoted to being Spider-Man than enjoying his time as a teenager. Yeah. And I think, him dealing with even the little things like should he appear at the party as Spider-Man or not, because Ned wanted him to. Like those little things that are just like the issues that high school kids would have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that was just a perfect portrayal of Peter Parker in high school. And even also he also looks young. It's another thing about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Tobey Maguire looked old.
He did.
As Peter Parker. Very much so. It was a good thing they only spent one movie in high school for him.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, it was a little unfair to him because when he got cast, he was like 27. And he's supposed to be playing like, Peter Parker is like, what, a junior, a sophomore, a junior? No way, man. No way, no how. He looked young. He didn't look old. But he definitely wasn't a young buck, Tom Holland, on the other hand, 19 years old the first time he appeared as Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War. So,
fit like a glove.
Still a teenager. Yeah, fit like a glove, man. But anyway, guys, who is your choice for One's Gotta Go? Who is the best Spider-Man in your opinion, the best man to portray Spider-Man in live action. Who is the worst man to portray Spider-Man and Peter Parker in live action? Let us know in the comments below. And by all means, if you like what you heard today, join up with the Spectacular Spoiler League by hitting the subscribe button. Hit that like button too, because we need you. We're needy. We love you. You need to love us back. Show us some appreciation. We greatly appreciate that. Me and DeepBoyce, we're getting out a haul of spoilers. We're going to go throw some rotten eggs at Andrew Garfield. Nah, we playing, man. Andrew Garfield, I like Andrew Garfield.
He seems like a nice guy. But he let the girl go in real life too, you know that?
Listen, the rule is one's got to go. It don't matter if we like the person. One's got to go. The show ain't called none's got to go. One's got to go.
Sorry about that.
In that case?
Sorry about that, Garf.
Sorry about I'm mad you said lasagna eating. Andrew Garfield. Anyway, guys, we'll see you later. Peace out.